Good morning. Good morning. Hello. If you are watching this recording, thank you so much. You can skip ahead about a minute to get to the content. I'm going to give you a moment to get on. And while you're doing that, I'm going to share this out. Got stuff going on here. Let me also, before I do that, da, 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 da. Okay. Hello. Hey, Brian. Good morning. So I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. When you tune into my morning show, you're going to hear about various topics. You're going to hear about life and business, but mainly you're going to hear about tax topics. I am a tax professional. It is currently tax season and people got tax questions. So that is what I have been answering. For about the past 3 weeks, I think I'm going on 3 weeks. I've been doing nothing but answering tax questions on this show. So I want to remind you that the information I share with you here is for presentation purposes only. I recommend and highly encourage you to contact your own tax professional or CPA about your personal tax situation because everybody's stuff is different. Okay. So I got a question. When is it a good time to get a second opinion about your taxes? This is one of those things that can be, kind of a sticky situation. And so I've actually had somebody ask me this question on more than one occasion over the past few weeks. So I really wanted to take the time to address it. A lot of times we have an issue with loyalty. We've been going to the same tax person for 15, 20 years, and that's because that's who's been doing our taxes. And the thought of going to someone else to get your taxes done, it feels like an act of disloyalty, which I totally get. Okay. It's kind of like, you've been shopping at the same place for all these years. It's been working for you great. And then suddenly you're going to go somewhere else. But here's the thing. And what I want you to keep in mind is that ultimately, I don't care how long you've been going to see someone. Okay. I really don't care. Because ultimately, the responsibility for your taxes falls on your shoulders. So if you don't feel comfortable or you just want a second set of eyes, to me, that's okay. Whether I'm doing your taxes or someone else is doing your taxes. I believe that because you have the ultimate responsibility, you need to do what feels right for you. Okay. So I'll give you an example. I had one client say to me that she really wanted to have someone else look at her taxes, but her current tax person says, well, if you do that, then I'm going to have to do some things over again. Okay. If someone says that they have to do something over again before you let someone else look at your taxes, that is a huge, humongous, ginormous, bigly red flag. Okay. Because nuts and bolts is that federal tax law is constant. Okay. It is constant. I don't care who you are. Okay. So, if someone says they got to redo something before you let someone else look at your taxes, that is a red flag. The moment you feel uncomfortable, that is the time to say, you know what, I really need to go and have someone else. Now, if you're comfortable with the person that is preparing your taxes, but you just want someone else to take a look, to me, that is okay. The time to do that is after tax season. Okay. If your tax professional is not open throughout the year, that it might be something that kind of give you pause, because a lot of places, that this is the difference between someone that is a tax professional and someone that just does taxes, because someone that just does taxes after the tax deadline, you cannot find them. Okay. A tax professional, you can find them year round. They might have reduced hours, throughout the off season, but you can still connect with them during, after April 15th or April 18th this year. So that is, that's just one of those things. So if you just want someone to put a second set of eyes on your taxes just for your own comfort, then after tax season, after that April 15th deadline is the time to do that. But in the current, if someone is doing your taxes currently and they're, doing something that makes you go, something is not right, if that in your gut you feel like it's not right, then stop them immediately and say, listen, I appreciate what you've done, and you may have to pay them. It really just depends on how they charge. However, it's worth it to have your own peace of mind. This is like your health. If you go to your doctor and he gives you some news that you don't like, do you take what he says? Or do you say, listen, I like my records, I'm going to go see another doctor? You're going to go see another doctor. Your taxes shouldn't be any different. But a lot of times we get this issue with this loyalty. While, as a business person, we love loyalty. Okay. Absolutely love loyalty. My tax lady has been my tax lady for the past, 3 or 4 years since I found her, because the other people that I was dealing with, it was charging me a boatload of money, and I wasn't comfortable with what there was something that just wasn't right. Okay. And then the way that they were treating me too, I was not. So if I'm going to pay you a boatload of money and you're not going to treat me with respect, then I'm going to go somewhere else. All right. So the person that we found, I totally love her, and she catches stuff and said, she'll tell me, hey, you had this last year, you don't have it this year. What's going on with this number? Okay. So for that, I definitely am loyal. But if I get to a point where something's not adding up, then I'm going to go somewhere else. And I encourage people to do that, to not be afraid to take your tax returns and go somewhere else to have someone else review them. Now, when someone else reviews them, they may or may not do them for free. Be willing to invest in your peace of mind. I invest in my peace of mind. I have a tax lady. Can I do my own taxes? Yes, I am perfectly capable of doing my own taxes. I am a tax professional. However, I like the peace of mind of having someone else put their eyes on my taxes, because you can't coach and play the game at the same time, right? So her perspective on my taxes can be totally different. And she's caught some errors that I made, some stuff that I omitted in the information that I gave her. And so this is why I tell people, don't be afraid to take your taxes somewhere else. All right. Even if it's just to look at them, for them to say, yeah, your tax person's doing great. Or, here's some things that I would do differently. Because one of the problems that I believe we have in the tax preparation industry is that this is a burn and churn type thing. They want to get you in the chair, get your documents, do your taxes, and get you out. And there's no relationship building. There's no room for asking questions. There's no room for explaining anything that's going on with your taxes. I'm not that kind of person. Yes, while it is time consuming, yes, it is. But when you walk away from me, you're going to have a very good idea of what's going on with your taxes. Every question that you have about your taxes is going to be answered. I have a client that she's brand new to me this year. She'd been having the same person do her taxes for the past 15 years. But she said, you know what? He won't explain anything to me. So she brought her taxes to me this year, and we sat down and I said, okay, this is what this number means. This is what this number means. And she's like, she said, why couldn't, after all these years, why couldn't this one person sit down with me and explain that? I can't explain what people do, why they do it. But I just know for me, I believe that because the responsibility ultimately falls on the taxpayer, that you have a right to ask questions about what is being prepared for you. Okay. Because it's by not asking questions that people do some unscrupulous stuff and you wind up in trouble. You see it happen all the time. So to answer the question of when should you get a second opinion, number one is the moment you feel that something is not right, you need to get a second opinion. And two, if you feel that everything is okay, you're not feeling uncomfortable, but you would just like that assurance for someone else to take a look at your taxes, then do it after tax season. So that, because right now tax season is crazy. tax season is the wrong time to have someone say, hey, can you just, can you just look at this? No, we don't have that kind of time during tax season, especially now. There's as of today, there's 12 days left before tax day. So things get kind of ugly right around this time. But definitely after tax season, to have someone sit down and just look at all of your tax return, look at all of your documentation to see where you can be doing things better, where you might be able to save money, where you're losing money, just your whole operation. I think is something that, you need to definitely do annually, whether it's business, personal, whatever, it's something you definitely need to do, sit down annually to do that. So like I said, don't let loyalty keep you from getting a second opinion. And again, be willing to invest, because sometimes people want you to come and take up your time looking at their taxes and find going through things with a fine-tooth comb and not understanding, listen, this is my time. If I'm not making money with you, I'm losing money somewhere else. That's not how it works, because you want your job to pay you, right? When you're doing your job, then, be willing to pay people who are reviewing your stuff. Okay, just be willing to invest that for your peace of mind. So I really hope this helps you out. If you're having any concerns about what your tax preparer is doing, your CPA or whoever, don't be afraid to ask questions. And if they don't want to answer your questions, that should give you pause and make you want to run. All right. Anybody that's dealing with anything that has to do with your money should be willing to, answer your questions and give you that peace of mind. If they're not willing to do that, I highly encourage you to take your business somewhere else. Now, again, tax season is not the time to sit down and want to go through with the fine tooth comb. That's not a good idea. But, definitely after tax season is over, and see, this is another thing I tell people, tax season is not the time to start thinking about taxes. You need to be thinking about taxes the year prior. After April 15th, you need to be thinking about taxes and bettering your tax situation. Okay. So I really hope this helps you out. Listen, like I said, tax day is coming. There is a link in the comments to book a tax consult if you need help getting your taxes prepared. And I offer a secure portal, so that you can upload your documents. You don't even have to leave your house. How cool is that? Okay. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Nettie, for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. And I also post these on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much. And also make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a fantastic day. See you next time. Bye.